What is your psychological relationship with money based on your zodiac sign? Well, first of all, let's define what psychological is, okay? Psychological, as defined by dictionary.com, is pertaining to the mind or to mental phenomena as the subject matter of psychology. Of pertaining to dealing with or affecting the mind, especially as a function of awareness, feeling, or motivation. So psychological is something that deals with the mind, alright? So let's look at relationship. What's the definition of relationship? A relationship is the way, as defined by, I guess, dictionary.com or maybe Wikipedia. Let's see here. It doesn't really say. It just comes up. You know how sometimes you type in a word in Google and the definition will just come up? This is the definition that just came up on Google. It says the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. Alright, so interesting. The way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. So, alright, a mental connection to money is basically what I mean when I'm saying psychological relationship to money. Okay, so what's your mental connection? What's your mental, basically, yeah, connection to money? How do you connect? What's your when you think of money, what's the first thing you think of, basically, is what I'm saying. Now, as elements within the astrological sphere, we are sometimes predisposed to certain traits. For example, water signs tend to be very in tune with their emotions. The earth signs tend to be very practical. The air signs tend to be very mental. They tend to have grand ideas, and they tend to like to talk, and what I'm saying, communicate. And then the fire signs are very, very intuitive, very passionate people who like to get things done. So when we apply this to a relationship to money, how does this affect you as your specific zodiac sign? Well, as we just stated, if you're a water sign, and we have to also take into account, of course, not just our sun sign, our moon, rising, our Venus sign, of course, because Venus is how we, tend to spend our money, what we like to, spend time doing, those types of things, right? So it really depends on all of these factors. So, water signs tend to be very emotional and tune with their emotions. So they may have some type of psychological relationship to money that's maybe emotional. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they like to spend money on things that make them feel good. I'm a Venus and Scorpio, so I can definitely say, Venus and Scorpio, Libra moon. So I definitely like to spend money on things that make me feel good. Right, that make me feel pretty, that make me, that validate my vainness, that emotionally fulfill me, right? As a Cancer, maybe you like to spend money on things that make you feel good, DIY things. A Pisces, maybe you like to spend things, that make you feel good, like music. Music can be a really big thing for Pisces. Maybe a Pisces like to collect certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pisces can be those types of people. Scorpio, may, spend money on things that makes Scorpio feel good. That has meaning to Scorpio. That, ignites some type of passion in Scorpio, because remember, Scorpios are super duper passionate. As an earth signs, like I said, tend to be very practical. So earth signs tend to think, what is the best use of my money? What is the best economical, the best most efficient use of my money? How can I best use my money in a practical way? So Virgos are very analyzing. They will make a budget. They will budget for the month, see what things they pay off the most important things first, and then okay, what can I spend my money on now? Virgos are likely to also use their money for a goal. So maybe they're paying off their debt or something, or saving up, working towards a new car or something like that. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So, this is someone who's very practical, but, likes to spend their money on the finer things, likes to spend their money on experiences, on good food, on, good quality clothing, good quality, products, good quality things that have meaning, that are practical, but it also has to look good. It also has to feel good for a Taurus. Remember, they're ruled by Venus. You know, these are the types of people that quality matters to a Taurus. Okay, so you know, these are the types of things that Taurus looks at in terms of their money. What is most beneficial, but what is also, what do I want? You know what I'm saying? Like, Tauruses are those kind of people. All right, and then we have Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Capricorn is, you know, like Virgo and all the other earth signs, they, you know, typically make sure that everything else is paid off first. You know, Capricorns are super ambitious, so they may be saving up for something. You know, Capricorn might invest their money to make their money work for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the types of psychological relationships that sometimes the earth signs can have with money. The air signs, you know, tend to have big, grand ideas, you know, big, new things. They like to create new things, you know, they like to, further themselves. So that's what the air signs tend to, that's a psychological relationship the air signs tend to have with money. They like to, you know, expand their knowledge. They like to communicate. They like to have fun. Although each air sign is different, you know, so a lot of the air signs may, you know, spend their money going out and socializing with their friends, like a Libra. Remember, Libra's ruled by Venus, so, you know, Libra, you know, likes to spend money on experiences, much like Gemini, right? Gemini likes to spend money on experiences. They're ruled by Mercury, so, you know, forms of communication are very, very important for these signs. So, you know, phone bill paid, you know, all of these things, like, you know, without a phone bill, without a phone, you know, the air signs can't communicate. That, you know, no communication is going to be an issue for air signs. But, you know, aside from that, you know, the basic things, air signs really like to spend money on new experiences. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, so, you know, Aquarius is like to spend money on technology. They may like to keep up with technology. They may like to keep up on trends, so, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if an air sign, a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius were into investing, you know, or something like that. But then again, we have to remember that the air signs are also big on creating new things, creating new ventures, creating new business opportunities. So these are the types of people who are out there really, you know, active, you know, and making their money work for them like an earth sign, but being more in a more active way. Does that make sense? So, like, where an earth sign may invest, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius may invest, you know, where, I'll say this, where an earth sign may invest in the stock market, Libra, Gemini may invest in a new business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and just kind of dive in, you know, like what I'm saying, because the earth signs like to plan stuff out. The air signs, not so much. You know what I'm saying? They like to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? They're really easy breezy, so. The air signs also tend to have a good flow of money coming in and out, as well. All right. All right. So the fire signs, like I said, are very passionate, very intuitive people. So these are the types of people that like to spend their money on fun experiences, on new adventures. You know, these people may be a little bit spontaneous with their money as well. So, you know, these are the types of people who just out of the blue may say, hey, let's go to the bar. Hey, let's, you know, go to the mall. Hey, let's, you know, let's do something. Let's go out and spend money doing something, you know. Leo loves new experiences. Leo loves also, you know, routine things. So like going out with friends, you know, every Wednesday night or something like that. You know, Aries loves experiences. So, you know, like a concert or something like that. Something fun, invigorating, and exciting that really gets Aries adrenaline pumping. But the fire signs are also willing to put in money to make themselves better in some way. So, like, you know, it's not unlike Aries to, you know, spend money getting a coach or spend money, you know, on classes to improve in some way, right? That's kind of like Sagittarius. Sagittarius is another sign that's willing to spend money on experiences, money on things that matter to a Sagittarius. Remember, they're ruled by Jupiter, so they're all about expansion, you know, expanding their consciousness, expanding their knowledge, expanding their cultural aesthetics. I don't know, you know, just expanding overall. Like, you know, Sages don't like to stay in one place. The fire signs typically don't like to stay in one place for too long, so these are the types of people who spend money on, you know, vacations and things like that. Now, when we talk about the psychology of money and our psychological relationship to money, we also have to take into account what we inherited in our childhood when it comes to money. A lot of times we inherit certain psychological relationship traits, or sometimes I'll say we attach certain psychological relationship traits to money that we learned or that were ingrained in us at in childhood. So for example, maybe we grew up in a home where there was a lot of money, and money was never an issue. You know what I'm saying? You always got what you wanted, and you never had to worry about bills being paid, or you never had to see your parents like upset or depressed or anxious over money. Like that's gonna affect your psychology of money. That's gonna affect your psychological relationship with money, right? Versus someone who grew up in not so economically stable home, not so financially stable home. It was always a question as to whether or not the bills would be paid each month. Maybe because of the economic or financial stability, someone had to move around a lot, and they didn't have a stable home to live in. Like this is going to affect your psychological relationship to money as well. So all of these factors really, really play an important role in our psychological relationship to money. As I said, we cannot just rely on our sun sign. We also have to take into account our moon sign. A lot of times we can have an emotional relationship to money. My moon is in Libra, like I was saying. So Libras like to spend money. They're ruled by Venus. But it's also important to have control over that. You know what I'm saying? And control over your emotions when it comes to money. Sometimes we have to completely reprogram our mind, and build a new kind of psychological relationship with money to improve our financial situation. Does that make sense? Like at some point we may realize, look, I can't keep buying things to make me feel better, because first of all, they don't make me feel better. Second of all, they depreciate in value over time. I have to buy a new one within 2 or 3 years, or it's just easily broken or something like that. And then third of all, I keep wasting money and I keep getting things, you know what I'm saying, that just kind of stack up in my home, you know what I'm saying. So there's always a deeper root. Look at the psychological relationship that you have with money. Look at the emotional relationship, the mental connection that you have with money. All right. It's important to have self-control. It's important to have financial literacy. All of these things are so, so important. It's important more than anything to know what type of psychological relationship we have with money. So I hope that this kind of helped you to kind of figure out what kind of relationship you may have with money, and if it's not good, maybe you can work towards changing it, or if it's good, at least you know that you have a good psychological relationship with money. Keep up with it, okay? All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Lamarr Townsend. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamarr Townsend Official. If you would like your own birth chart reading, tarot reading, or love compatibility, love synastry birth chart reading, please contact me on my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. If you have any questions, about how long it takes you to get your reading, typically it's 1 to 2 days. If you have any questions about, how much my readings are, or anything else, check out the FAQ section and the personal ethics section, okay? Namaste, love and light, and I hope to hear from you soon, okay? Catch you in the next video.